Hi everyone. Hi there. So in this session I'm going to teach you about the GUI checklist. Just like previously we discussed about the compatibility test click. So without wasting your time, so let's quickly navigate towards our agenda. So this is the template I will be sharing with you in attachment, so you can use in your live project as well. Now, so here you need to specify your document information, the author, the reviewer, issue date, and the distribution. Each and everything you need to specify here. And after that, then you can navigate down, and these are the things you need to make sure whenever you are doing the web-based application testing. So these guidelines are the compliances, and you can correlate these things in the real-time application with your client requirements and expectations. So first of all, you need to understand the Windows compliances standards, like for each application, the compliances for the Windows in application, what are the compliances for the text boxes, radio boxes, check boxes, push buttons, drop down list buttons, combo box, list box, grids, and then we will be discussing more in detail about the testing of GUI according to the design standard, and then how you need to do the field level validation. So let's quickly navigate towards our main agenda. The GUI testing guideline. The purpose of GUI testing guideline is to help you understand how application can be tested according to known and understood standard of GUI. It can give some guidelines to the development and the QA both teams. The development team can make sure that during the development of the following guideline related to the compliances, aesthetics, navigation, etc. But focus to of testing GUI is on the QA team. And as a tester, it's your responsibility that you need to validate your products against the GUI standard followed by the internationally. So here this is the GUI checklist, and you need to ensure that GUI components are thoroughly tested. In the first part of the guideline document, we will cover Windows compliance standards, some test ideas for your understanding, and for field level specification test. Now, so here Windows compliances are basically standards are followed by almost all the Windows based applications. Any variations of these standards can result the inconvenience of the users, and this compliance must be followed for every application. So this is the rule of thumb, and you can use with your live project, and these compliances can be categorized according to the following criteria. Number one, the compliances for each application. You need to make sure that the loading message should have the information about the application name, the version, and the number of icon whenever you are testing any of the application on the mobile or the web-based application. And then main windows of the application should have some caption as the icon in the program manager. Number third, closing of the application whenever you are doing should have the result message like are you sure message should appear, and then if you are trying to start the application while it's loading, again the message should be showing. Then minimizing the restoring functionality should work properly on possible screens. After that, the compliances for each window in the application, a Windows caption for each application should have Windows name, especially the error messages, title, windows, information should have make sense for the user. If user has the control menu, use the entire control menu like move, close, resize. The text present should check the spelling of the US grammar as well. And if the tab navigation is there, then tab should have more focus towards the direction of shift plus tab in the backward direction. The tab order should be left to the right in the group box. If the focus present to any of the control, it should be presented any dot lines around it. User should not be able to select gray or disable control, and you will not be able to specify any entry for the non-editable fields. And then object boxes like text drop down label should be right justify and ending with the column. Now, so if these things are not as per the standard, you need to raise the defects and pass it out to your development team. Now, what are the standards for the text boxes? So text boxes, move mouse to text box and it should be changed to insert part for editable text field and should remain unchanged for non-editable text field. Test overflowing text boxes by inserting as many characters as you can in the text field. Also text width of the text field by entering all the caption. Tooltip to be introduced. Enter invalid character, special character, and make sure that there is no abnormality. User should be able to select text using the shift plus arrow key. Selecting should be possible using the mouse. The double click should select the entire text in the box. And then when the user enter maximum number of character in the text field, that it should be freezes users to enter more character. So these are the things you need to make sure while you are validating the text boxes. And the radio boxes on the one should be selected from the given option, and user should be able to select any button using the mouse or the keyboards. And the spaces should set or unset the radio boxes, and then the check boxes are basically user will be able to select any combination of checklist check boxes like more than one, and clicking mouse and the set or subset uncheck or set and spacebar should be there. And then we have the push buttons like clicking each button while mouse activate it and trigger required action. Similarly, given a focus return button should also be there, and the drop down text boxes pressing at the arrow should given all the list of options available to the user. List can be scrollable, but the user should not be able to type in. And then pressing a letter should be the first line item. The line starting with the same letter item should be alphabetically ordered, and selected item should be displayed on the list. And empty spaces in the drop down should be replaced with selected option. Then the comma boxes, the similar mention above, but user should be able to enter the text in. And then the list boxes are basically user should allow single select either by the mouse or the arrow key. Pressing any letter should take you to the first element, and starting with the letter, make sure all the data can be seen using the scroll bar, just like this one. And then there are some grades standards. All numeric values should be right justify, all non-numeric values should be left justified, and make sure tooltip should display the correctly. And then is it sorting provision available on the grids now. And then testing, UI testing according to the design standard, follow the date format, the timestamps, and all fields should button be aligned proper standard size pages, and should have the symmetry, have the consistency, and make sure spelling should be correct with all the website content. If the spelling have the mistake, then you need to report the bug. And then record each and displaying arrows column aligned properly. Check the default menu should display default values option. And then you need to make sure that system crashes due to wrong input. If that is the case, then you need to make sure about that. Then the choices of displayed for the radio button are in one line, and if the choices are long, then they must be displayed in one column, and it should be look good. Pop-up message should be displayed in the format and looks good. Those pop-up windows must like a part of the system, not as an advertisement window. And the content in these windows must display a proper way and in standard font size like 8 to 12. And then if the pop-up windows are static, or the content inside these windows might increase the automatically activity as a scroll bar for the windows or for a specific content. So you need to make sure about the comments, and the standards for the footer and the header should be remain the consistent everywhere. And then you need to make sure all the tabs are working fine, the text alignments and the page and their sizes A4 should be there. And then for the all the lines, first page and the last page option should be available. In the last, if I would like to say about the field level validation, then you need to check on the website like whether the field is mandatory or not. And asterisk should be shown with the mandatory field, and if that is not showing, then you need to raise the defects. And then you need to make sure the length of the input, the label is correctly. There should not be any mistake with respect to grammar, and then the error message should be there. Smart validation should be there. All these things, large entry must be separated. Does the system have the value on the integer floating values, lowest value to highest value, and for the text to only field should be displayed now. So I hope you got the clear-cut idea. If you are following these checklists, which I am just sharing in the content, these will help you to do the web-based website GUI testing as per the customer expectations. So thank you very much for watching this session.